Hi folks, in today's practice we're going to be using a chair to help us. If you're a younger, more mobile yogi, please don't be put off by thinking that this is simply a yoga session for older or less mobile people. You might be surprised at how beautiful it can be to practice using a chair as a prop. So a couple of things. You want to make sure that the chair that you use doesn't have arms on it. That's going to just get in your way. And also make sure that you're on a surface where your chair is solid and it isn't going to slip or slide around. So those are two things to just make sure of before you begin. Also, please make sure, as usual, that you go gently and slowly, and at any time if you need to rest, then just go ahead and, well, you can sit on your chair and rest with a straight spine. And the obvious thing is that if something hurts, just stop doing it. Okay, so now that we've got all of that stuff out of the way, let's begin by tuning in to the sensations that we're feeling this morning. Any sensations, any emotions, any thoughts that are arising. Let's just begin by tuning in. So we're sitting on the edge of the chair, okay? You don't want to be slumping right back on the back rest. So come forwards on your chair and sitting with a straight spine, your hands resting on your thighs and your feet planted firmly on the floor, hip distance apart. And then just lowering your gaze as if you're looking down the end of your nose, or closing your eyes if you feel you can. Start by finding an easy and natural breath. Breathing in and out through the nose where you can, or through your mouth if you have to. Scanning through the body from the top of the head downwards towards your toes. And as you do so, noticing what sensations you can feel, building up a picture of how things are for you this morning. Scanning through the scalp, the facial features, noticing any tightness around the jaw, letting the neck be long and the shoulders relaxed. Notice how things feel in the chest and the upper back. Down into the ribs, the arms, the abdomen, the mid and lower back. Aware of your hips and the sensation of your bum as you sit on the seat beneath. Aware of sensations in your legs. Aware of your feet. Perhaps you can notice the temperature of your feet, the texture of the floor or the rug beneath your feet. And bring your awareness back to your breathing. Notice how, when we are aware of our breathing, it very naturally and easily begins to slow down all by itself. And then we can lengthen each in-breath and extend each out-breath until our breathing becomes a little bit longer and smoother. And we're going to stay with these long, smooth breaths wherever we can during our yoga practice this morning. Aware of the breath at all times. So let's just open up our eyes. And then just again, drawing ourselves up through the spine so that the spine is long. We're going to start just by working with the top 1/3 of the spine to begin with. So just dip your chin gently towards your chest and then begin to make little semicircles with your chin, drawing the chin towards the right shoulder and then towards the left shoulder, keeping it very gentle, allowing your head to loll. Feel the weight of your head, but keep the spine long. It's like you're drawing a little smile with the tip of your nose. And then we'll start to make circles, so rotating your head. Please go very, very slowly. You'll get the most benefit if you take your rotations very slowly and be very mindful of the sensations that arise as you do so. Your circles might be teeny tiny ones. You might start small and then just move a little wider. Just expand that range of movement. Let's go the other way. Again, take it really slowly. There might be places where you might linger. You'll be able to feel those little crunchy bits at the back of the neck. You might even notice some sensation down into the upper back, that little place in between your shoulder blades. Really slowly. And then coming back to center. We're going to incorporate a little bit more breathing here. So let your arms dangle by your sides. We're going to inhale deeply through the nose and let the breath out with a sigh. And it goes like this. Inhale and sigh. Let go of the shoulders. And again. And again. And one more time. Excellent. And then we're going to place the hands down onto the thighs. We'll bring the feet once again to hip distance apart. You're sitting on the edge of your chair, remember, and your spine is tall. So then, keeping the knees exactly where they are right now, all you're doing is lifting alternate feet. Nice and slow. It's harder than it looks. So these people who think that they're too good for chair yoga, they might be mistaken. So we're strengthening the quads right now. And we're still breathing. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Just a couple more times on each side. Obviously, because this is a video, you can pause the video and do more repetitions if you wish. Great for the hip flexors. Okay, one more cycle of movement and breath on each side. And then coming back to center. Just take a moment to let the legs rest. And again, we're sitting on the edge of our chair, remember? So then you're just going to draw each knee towards the chest, spine is straight. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then the other side, little squeeze. Keep going. Take a little squeeze. and again. Starting to warm up a little bit now. If you want to incorporate the breath, which I recommend you do, inhale and then exhale to squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep that long, upright spine. Taking one more cycle of movement and breath on each side. Oh, that's great. Okay, then just check down with your feet. Are they still hip distance apart? Do you still feel nice and solid? Is your spine still long and tall? This is really important at this stage. We're going to come into a gentle twist here, or a moving twist, should I say. So if your spine is long and tall, that's going to be no problem at all. If you are scrunched around like this, then don't do the twist, okay? If you think about the spine as, think about the vertebra like little building blocks stacked one on top of the other. You want to see if you can imagine space. I've got hair in my eye. Imagine space in between each of the vertebra, so that when there's space, there's also space to move and twazzle, okay? We want the vertebra to be free to twizzle and twazzle. Twazzle is a technical yoga word, by the way. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to be breathing through the nose wherever that's possible. Take your arms out to the sides. Bring your fingertips onto your shoulders, but make sure your shoulders are dropped right down. And then from here, breathe in through the nose to go one way and out through the nose to go the other way. So it looks like this. Joining in whenever you feel you can. Go gently, gently at first. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring the palms of your hands down onto your thighs. Notice how you feel. Bring your breathing back to a natural and steady state. Notice how your body feels. The sensations in the body have become a little bit more invigorated, a little bit more vibrant now, and hopefully a little bit warmer. Okay. So, getting a little bit warmer now. All right. So, we're going to do our chair yoga version of cat and cow. Okay, we're not going to do it on all fours, we're going to do it using the chair. So again, sitting on the edge of your chair with a straight back. Let's take the arms out like in a cactus shape with the elbows nicely lifted. From here, we exhale to round the spine, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest, and we inhale to lift the front ribs and the heart space forwards and upwards, driving the elbows, pressing the elbows gently back. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, lift the chest forwards and upwards. Continue here and I'll show you what it looks like from the side. So we're inhaling and we're breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Don't allow the shoulders to scrunch up towards your ears. Doing your very best to stay with it. Keeping those elbows lifted. Let's take one more cycle of movement and breath. Just like this. come back to centre. So then we're going to get some length through the side body next. So again, sitting on the edge of your chair, take your feet out wide this time, and your feet will be pointing out like at 10 to 2 on a clock, okay, like duck feet, and your knees will be over the tops of your ankles. So this is a moving exercise. We're going to inhale, exhale, come back to centre. Moving into your little side bends, keeping the knees nice and wide. Keeping it nice and relaxed. Let it flow, okay? You don't want to be all stiff and rigid here. Just enjoy the movement. Let's take one more cycle of movement and breath on each side. And then come back to centre. I'm going to show you from the side our next little stretch. It's a very gentle little back bend. Come to the front of your chair once again and hold on to the back of your chair, all right? So then feet are hip distance apart. I keep saying that, but it's good to keep checking in, all right? So that you feel properly grounded through the soles of your feet. So we're holding onto the back of the chair, we're sitting on the front of the chair, and we're going to inhale, lift the chest, lift the front ribs up towards the sky, draw those shoulders right back, and breathe here. If your neck is uncomfortable when you look up at the sky, then just look forwards, but keep the chest lifted. Breathe in here, creating as much space in the chest cavity and the upper rib cage as possible. One more breath. And then taking your arms out in front, interlace your fingers, drop your chin to your chest, tuck the tailbone under, round the spine, and feel as if you're pushing the backs of your hands forwards. Your biceps will be tickling your ears, and we're breathing here. Breathing into the back body this time. Often I close my eyes as I come into a posture because that helps us to go a little deeper within, helps us to really notice the sensations that happen in the body as we breathe here, noticing that expansion on the inhale and a sense of release on the exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. Flip your palms, press your palms heavenwards. Take a really big stretch through the ribs. Keep breathing. Keep pressing those palms up towards the sky. And exhale and relax. Okay, so I'm going to do a little version of a half sun salutation, but we're going to do it sitting down, which is really nice because most of you who come to my classes at least will know about the value, the benefits of the half sun salutation. It's meditative movement. It's a really beautiful thing to do first thing in the morning to get the body moving, get the muscle fascia supple and elastic. So we're going to do that sitting down today because we can. So feet hip distance apart, nice upright spine. Okay, I have a tendency to collapse the lower back, so I'm going to really concentrate on engaging my abs so that that doesn't happen. All right, So I advise that you follow on and do the same. Okay, engaging the abdominal muscles, lifting up through the spine. Let's take the hands to prayer at the heart center. And when we're ready, we're inhaling the hands up towards the sky, reaching for the clouds, and then we're exhaling to fold forward. Let go of the weight of your heavy head and relax here. Breathing into the back body. And then in a moment we're going to inhale into our chair version of a halfway lift. So we're going to inhale, bring the hands to the shins and lengthen the spine, looking diagonally forwards and slightly downwards so that there's length in the back of the neck. Next time you exhale, come back into your forward fold. And then as we inhale, we roll up through the spine, take the arms to the sky and bring your prayer hands to your heart center. Let's go again. Inhale. Breathe out for your forward fold. Inhale for your version of the halfway lift. Exhale back into your forward fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Breathe out, take your hands to prayer. I'm going to do that a couple more times, but in silence so that you can really concentrate and focus and go within. Notice how your body feels. Excellent. So then we're going to bring our forearms down onto our knees. Again, we've got to have the spine straight, so it's no good having a curved spine for this, because again we're going to come into those twists. So remember what we said about long spine, happy spine. So we've got a straight spine here, and then we're going to wrap one arm, the back of the hand, around the back of the waist, and then we're just going to lift that shoulder up and have a little peep over the shoulder. Only going as far as feels nice for you. And remember, if your neck is unhappy, just find a place for your neck that works for you. And breathe here. Now, if you're gritting your teeth and you've stopped breathing, that usually means that you've come into your twist a little bit too vigorously and you need to come away from the twist. Breathing here. Turning up the corners of the mouth into a little smile so that we know that we're not holding tension in the jaw. And next time you exhale, come back to center, and we'll do the same on the other side. So making sure that your spine is straight, wrapping the arm around your back, lifting the shoulder, and then peeping up over your shoulder. Breathe in here. You might notice that one side feels a little bit more loose or easy than the other side. So coming into the twist mindfully, breathe in here. Again, because I've got my back to the video now, you'll not know this, but I'm still smiling, I'm still softening the jaw, I'm still breathing. One more breath here. And then exhale. Come back to centre. And then flop the body over the legs. Have a little shimmy here. Perhaps nod the head a little bit. And breathe. Breathing into the back and the side ribs. And then once again, we're rolling up through the spine. Engage the abs as you do so. Roll the shoulders back and down. And then we're going to come into a little glute stretch, a stretch for the buttocks. So, I'll show you this with the chair this way on, all right? Again, straight spine. All the usual rules apply. So let's take the left ankle and place it on top of the left knee. You're sitting on the edge of your chair, remember? And then just allow this left knee to flop out to the side. And then from here, you can hold on to the sides of your chair. You can put your hands on your waist. With a straight back, we're just leaning forward. Flex this ankle here, this top ankle. Flex that ankle and just lean forward gently. You may not go forward very far. Breathe here. The back of the neck is long. One more breath. And then we come back to centre. We'll shake that leg out a bit. And then we'll do the same on the other side. The ankle is on top of the knee. We're flexing the ankle and we're just bringing that knee out to the side, lifting up nice and tall. This might be enough for you just to stay here, remember. Remember, you're in charge of your body. You know how your body feels. Very important to stay safe because I can't see you practice, obviously. So I'm just trusting you that you're being true to your body and listening to what your body is telling you. So let's take the hands to the hips or the side of the chair and just lean gently forwards. One more breath. And then coming back to centre. So then we're going to take the, so if I'm mirroring you, okay, so take your left hand onto the back of your chair and then your right hand over to the side. You might even be able to grab hold of your chair, but you need to keep a straight spine. So you might just take your hand to the outside of the thigh here. And then from here, we inhale to lift up tall through the spine, and then we exhale to twist. Imagine where your tummy button is, and imagine that your tummy button is twisting around to the side. So we're twisting from the base of the spine up towards the base of the skull. And we're breathing here. And then coming back to centre. Same on the other side. Grab a hold of the back of the chair. Palm on the outside of the other thigh. Inhale deeply to make your body as tall as possible. And then as you exhale, twisting from the base of the spine first. And then the lower back, the mid back. That little place in between your shoulder blades. And then peeping over your shoulder. And breathing here. Don't worry if you're not coming as far into the twist as me. Just twist as far as feels nice for your body. Yoga is supposed to feel delicious for the body. It's not supposed to be torture, remember? One more breath just here. And then on and out breath, gently and slowly unwinding yourself, maintaining that long spine as you do so. And then I'll show you this one from the side. It might make it a little bit easier. This is going to be a little stretch for the hamstrings. So here, sitting on the edge of your chair, as usual, feet hip distance apart. Have your hands on your thighs this time. And then you're going to bring the left foot forward, flex the left ankle. This leg is straight. And with a straight spine, just going to lean forward. Breathe in here. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. Don't let your shoulders migrate and scrunch up to your ears. We've got enough stress going on. We don't want to make it worse. Breathe in here. Keep this ankle flexed. Leaning forward. 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to the start and go the other side. Flex the right ankle this time. Straighten the right leg. Leaning forward. And coming back to centre. From here, we're going to come into chair pose. Now, for some of the ladies and gents that come to my Friday morning class, they're very determined. They don't need a chair, but it's sometimes nice to have the chair behind you, just in case you're feeling a little bit wobbly. There's that reassurance of having it here. So it's a really nice way to come into chair pose. We like to call it thunderbolt pose in our class because chair pose just sounds really boring, and thunderbolt implies that determination and power and persistence that we have to conjure up before we come into the posture. So let's have the feet together this time. Feet together, big toe joints together, but also the feet are still parallel. There's a little gap between your heels so that your feet are still parallel. So then we can squeeze the knees and the thighs together. Again, we're keeping the spine nice and tall. We're going to take the arms forward and up and come into our chair pose here. Again, don't let your shoulders scrunch up towards your ears. Have your biceps in line with your ears. And if you're a person who sticks the bum out, just tuck the tailbone under just a tiny little bit. Engage your abdominal muscles. You can squeeze those thighs together. Breathe here. Some of us might sink a little more. If your shoulders are very, very troublesome, remember you can come to prayer here. Taking a modification that works for you. And then we're going to inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Now, knowing some of you, like I do, you'll want to do that chair pose another 2 times. So go ahead and pause your video and do that another couple of times, counting 7 breaths in each time you do it. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to crack on right now. So we're going to face our chair now. And we're going to come into a supported forward fold. So again, feet hip distance apart. You'll need to be right up next to your chair. Inhale your hands to the sky. Maybe holding on to opposite elbows. Tuck the tailbone. Just roll down through the spine. And then just find a place where you can relax, supporting yourself with the chair. Softening here. And breathe.
And bend of the knees, pressing down into the soles of the feet. Use the chair for support if you wish. And roll up through the spine. Roll the shoulders back and down. Shimmy the legs a little bit. Shake it out. So then we're going to come into a supported downward facing dog. Twist your chair around. Okay. And then we're going to step away from the chair. Feet are still hip distance apart. Use the back of the chair for support. And then push your bum out behind you. Ideally what you'll have is your hips over the tops of your ankles. Pressing the hip bones back. Please make sure there's a little bit of softness in those knees. You don't want to be pushing the kneecaps back. And then lift your tummy button gently up towards your spine, lifting your pelvic floor as well. Pelvic floor. And breathe. And then if it feels nice for you, if it feels right for you, you can just walk a little bit on the spot, dropping the hips into that action to loosen the hips. Coming back to centre. And if it feels right for you, and if you've got space, tell you what I'll do, I'll just move forward a little bit because I don't know whether I'm going to have space for this. Okay, so we've come into our down dog. And if you wish, you can use the chair for support and take one leg up behind you. Practice a little bit of warrior 3. And lower. This is optional, obviously. And then on the other side. And lower. Back into your down dog to even things out. And then walking gently back towards your chair. Just shaking it out. Notice how you feel, all right? So, using the chair is absolutely brilliant if you're a person who likes to practice their balance, because you know the benefits of practicing balance postures, but sometimes you just need that little bit of reassurance that you're not going to topple over and bang your head. Okay, so tree pose is obviously a favourite for most people. So let's come into our tree pose just using the chair for support. So it might be that you gently rest your fingertips on the back of the chair. It may be that you're happy to practice your tree pose without using the chair, or just having it there just in case you need it for moral support, really. Okay, so let's begin with our feet. Our feet are hip distance apart. Feel the earth energy beneath the soles of your feet, grounding you. And just to begin with, what we'll do is just gently rock forwards and backwards. That brings your full attention to the soles of the feet. That's it. And then coming back to centre, your central point of balance. Lift your toes and press down into the balls of the feet and the heels of the feet. And then soften the toes, but keep that lovely active sensation through the feet and ankles. Draw the tailbone gently down, engage your abs. Roll the shoulders back and down. Take your hands to prayer. It may be that you'll be here, just gently holding the chair. You might not need to. Okay. So then we're going to take the weight into the right foot, the foot that's nearest to the chair. Okay, I'm gonna hold on just to demonstrate, really. And from here, you can just experiment with lifting the left foot onto the ball of the left foot, taking the left knee out to the side. This might be enough for you. Or you can bring your foot to the calf, if you wish. You could come into a full tree pose if that's part of your practice, by bringing your foot to the inner thigh. But that's entirely up to you. I'm going to practice just at the calf here, engaging the glutes. And then if you want to take this a little further, you can lift your hands to the sky, take your arms out wide, bring the hands back to prayer, and your prayer hands to your heart center. And then coming back to mountain pose. Notice how you feel. Notice how one side of the body feels really different from the other side. Just experiencing that for a moment. And then taking your chair around to the other side. Remember, when we balance, usually there's one side that's easier than the other. I'm at a slight disadvantage here. I'm just putting my excuses in there before I start. I'm on a very fluffy rug, so it means it's sometimes a little bit more difficult to balance. But obviously when you're at home, you can step onto a harder surface and make it loads easier for you. So then again, feet hip distance apart, finding your perfect mountain posture. Let's lift those toes again, press down into the balls of the feet, press down into the heels of the feet, find those stronger active ankles, and then lower and soften the toes. Make sure that you're engaging your glutes and your abs gently too. Taking the weight into your left foot this time, lifting onto the ball of the right foot and taking the right knee out to the side. Now sometimes what I do when I take the knee out to the side, see my hips slump a little bit. Obviously I'm exaggerating for effect. We don't want that. We want to keep the hips level and then experiment with bringing the sole of the foot to the calf. Remember to find a point in front of you that is not going to move. Engage your glutes. And perhaps, if you wish, lifting your prayer hands heavenwards. Maybe making the branches of your tree. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. Feel the earth energy surging up through that left foot, all the way up into your strong legs and thighs. Breathe in here, don't hold the breath. And then taking hands to prayer, bringing your prayer hands back to your heart center and back into mountain pose. Notice how you feel. Well done. So then we're going to take a little side bend. So let's just shake those legs out a little bit. Using your chair for support this time, step in away from the chair so that it's like arm's length. And then take your outside foot and step it in front of the inside foot. Lift your right arm to the sky and take yourself into a lovely little side bend here. Don't let the shoulder drop forward, okay? You want to feel a lovely stretch down the side ribs. Breathe in here. Oh, I love this. We're stretching all the way from the hip to the fingertips. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Step back. Taking that over to the other side. Feet hip distance. Arms length away from your chair back. Stepping forward with the outside foot. Inhale Take a little stretch on the exhale and then breathe into this side bend. Keep that shoulder nicely lifted. One more breath here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Shake it out. So we're starting to come down to the floor now. All right, so take your chair the other way around here and kneeling down. We're just going to use the chair for support to come into a chair version. My trousers falling down, that's not attractive, is it? A chair version of child's pose. Now what you can do for this that feels a lot nicer is to have a pillow onto your chair and then just rest the side of your head on the chair like this. Breathe into the back body. If this is not comfortable for you and you prefer it, obviously you can come into a regular child's pose here. Perhaps taking the arms down by the sides so that you can completely relax the upper back and shoulders, allowing the upper arms to soften down towards the ground. Breathe into the back ribs deeply and smoothly. Staying here for as long as you want. We're going to roll up through the spine. Don't forget you can pause your video at any time to stay in the postures for longer if you want. And then we're going to take a very restorative posture. This one's not good for you if you've got heart problems, okay? If you've got heart problems, just come into Shavasana, laying on the floor like a little starfish on the bottom of the sea. But if everything's okay with the old ticker, then we're going to lay on our backs. We're going to bring our feet, our legs up onto the chair. And we're going to rest here. Nice little inversion, palms facing up towards the sky. Breathe in here. To come out of this posture, I recommend that you just kind of roll over to the side. That's the best way to come out of that posture. And then we're going to be coming to Shavasana in just a moment. So just pop in your chair to one side, finding some warm things to wear and taking yourself down into Shavasana here. So some of you might want to pop pillows underneath your knees. That's really lovely if your knees are troublesome or if you've got issues with your lower back. If your lower back is delicate, this can take a little bit of pressure off the lower back. Finding a blanket also. I've got one just here. Don't let yourself get cold. Shavasana, remember, is the most important part of your yoga practice. I'm putting that out there. There might be other yoga teachers who disagree with me, but I'm all about the Shavasana, the relaxation. We need it. We definitely need it. Okay. So just allowing ourselves to soften and relax here. Just for now, there's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you need to do. And let it be that there's nobody needs anything from you in this moment, and if they do, they're going to have to wait just a little bit longer. So let's make those last minute adjustments that you need to make in order for you to be able to find a deep stillness and rest here. Allow your feet to just flop to either side, allow your arms to be a little ways away from your body, and rest. Surrender the full weight of your body down into the mat beneath you. Feel those places where your body makes contact with the earth. A sense of sinking downwards towards the ground, gravity, your best friend here. Feeling rooted and gently planted into the lap of Mother Earth. Softening the muscles in your scalp. Smoothing out the frown lines in your forehead. Allowing space in between your eyebrows. Softening the muscles around your eyes. The sense of the temples sinking down towards your ears. Relaxing your cheeks, softening the muscles around your mouth. Allow your jaw to be slack and relaxed. Let your tongue rest broad and soft in the roof of your mouth. A still tongue, a quiet mind. Let the throat be open and relaxed, and soften through the upper back and shoulders. Your arms be loose and limp and heavy. Your hands relaxed, your fingers softly curled. Bringing your full awareness to your sternum, aware of the chest either side of your breastbone, aware of your upper back sinking down into the earth beneath. And then observe the expansion and contraction of your rib cage as you breathe. Sense of space on the inhalation and a softening on the exhalation. Enjoy the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen as you breathe. Allow your lower back to soften, your glutes to relax and spread, and become aware of the space in between your hip bones. Relax the backs of the thighs and the tops of the thighs. Soften your knees and your calves. Relax your ankles so that your feet just flop gently to either side. Aware of the whole body. A sense of letting go, of softening through the whole of the body. from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Just staying with the sensations in the body, staying with the awareness of the breath moving through the body. And beginning to notice once again the skin on the back of your body and all the places where you are in contact with the earth. Feel that support and grounding from the earth beneath. Begin to notice the sounds that you can hear around you. Begin to make some small movements with the body, perhaps turning the head gently side to side. Maybe wriggling fingers and toes. Inviting a deeper breath. Taking time to notice how you feel, perhaps comparing that to how you felt when you first started your practice today. And bending up your knees, rolling gently over onto one side. Please don't rush this part. Be gentle with yourself. Maybe staying here for a few breaths. And then super slow, pushing yourself to an upright seated place. Keeping warm. Let's close our practice together. Inhaling our hands to the sky, scooping up some of that good calm energy, some of that peace and quiet that you've created for yourself, and drawing it down to the third eye. Prayer hands at the third eye. May we have peace in our thoughts. Bringing the prayer hands to the lips. May we speak peace with our lips. And bringing your prayer hands to your heart centre. May we know peace in our hearts. I wish for you to feel happy and contented. I want you to feel healthy and safe. And I have a deep wish that you feel very much loved. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with this video. I hope you found it useful and helpful for you.